The beauty of Psalm space is all-encompassing. It's so much bigger than what you or I could ever imagine. We have so much inside of us that we don't even know exists. To know that other people feel this, that you're not alone, that there is help in the world for you. Psalm 100 is the official beginning of Psalm space as we know it today. This was the first piece that I began to work on. What was my idea about Psalm space and what did I want to convey to people? Well, I had been in several Taizé services as a flutist, and I was taken by Taizé because the idea of Taizé music is to repeat it, almost in a chant-like version. There's over 100 priests of Catholic and Protestant origin that got together and started doing these chants for healing. Actually, the village was first refuge for World War II refugees of all sorts and of all religious denominations. So it became kind of a refuge of peace and for healing and for comfort. And I thought, what do I want to do with this project? Well, I want to comfort people. I want to hit people. I want to heal people. I want to inspire people. I want to give people hope. That's what I wanted to do with Psalm space. One of my issues with current music, as we know it, and I don't really call myself even a composer, but here I am composing music that I feel was, a gift from not myself, but something much higher than myself. My idea about this project was to make this project radiate hope, to inspire, and to get the message across. So that meant repeating phrases, repeating melodies, repeating ideas, keeping it simple. Simple enough that people could understand it, could sing it, could hum it. Even children could get in and really enjoy it. So that was part of my idea. Psalm 100 was my first psalm because it was inspired by my mom. My mom loved this psalm, and we had it on our walls down in our basement growing up. Let me read it to you. A psalm for giving grateful praise. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name, for the Lord is good and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. I used these words to inspire me to write this tune, and the tune was big from the onset. I visualized and heard children's choir. I heard orchestra. I heard solo flute. I heard percussion. I heard celestial effects. All of it's in this piece. When we assembled the children, I was pretty scared because it was melody that they hadn't heard before. I wasn't sure because, these children were ranging in age from like 7 to 12. You don't know what their take is of this music. They came in and sung beautifully, and they were inspired. They were happy. I think they enjoyed singing this tune. One of the things when I composed it was children come in with this idea. Make a joyful noise, make a joyful noise, make a joyful noise, make a joyful noise. So that is kind of the melody that is taken as the first idea, and then we need a fantastic singer that's going to sing the text with conviction and with energy and with excitement. And that just happened to be my stepdaughter, Jenny Luke. It's with a grateful heart, I feel extremely blessed to be able to bring this Psalm 100 to you. It's the beginning of the project. Enjoy. Psalm 23.
Psalm 23.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Well, it's something to be happy about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. What does the psalm say to you, Neil?
Hope as well. It gives us something to look forward to, and that we can have faith in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, many times we think about our last days or our final moments here as being very dark and dismal. But this psalm says, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil, for I am with you. And there's going to be sunshine and the most beautiful things that you can't describe that's going to happen, and it's going to be amazing. So it's just like it holds your hand. This psalm holds your hand through this time of uncertainty, especially toward death. My father, I had this read when my father was diagnosed with colon cancer and before his first surgery. And he didn't make it, but the beautiful thing is he had all of this beauty around him. And I still feel that, and that's why this psalm is important to me, and that's why this is in Psalm Space, because of this. Mm-hmm. Does Psalm 23 mean anything special to you, Jack?
Oh, yeah. It's security. And it says in a fairly lighthearted way, put your faith in the Lord. It's not that bad. It's not that important. There's more stuff coming. There's a life after this, and whatever you think is good or bad now, it pales compared to what comes later.
Mm-hmm.
When I was thinking about composing Psalm 23, I wanted it to have a light, airy feeling to it, instead of a dismal, like, death and dark and gloom. I wanted it to be lighthearted. I call it my Margaritaville Psalm 23, just because it's got that kind of air. I wanted to add a ukulele on board. I wanted to add strings, and Jack says it's the song for ukulele and orchestra.
Yeah.
The idea of the ukulele was brought on board with the idea of what else did we add to the mix? We added strings, we added...
The Gregorian chants in the front. I mean, the Gregorian singers, not really chants. They're just, it kind of brought the age-old in with some of the new concepts of the ukulele, and we were trying to get kind of a, I don't say, mystical or ethereal element to the music as well. Is uplifting. So we were trying to, kind of touch on different things and blend them together. Right.
By the time this song ends, my heartbeat is always lower. I don't know what it is about the tune.
Mine too.
I think what is incredible at the beginning of this Psalm 23 is when Neil has added this beautiful intro, it is without a beat. It is without a meter. And then all of a sudden you hear this beat of the ukulele. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Then your ear is like, okay, it's starting to make sense. Mm-hmm. So it starts out above the ground and comes down to the ground. Mm-hmm. And it then ascends back up as the song continues. And we brought in Ginny Luke on this, on vocals.
Amazing.
Which she did an absolutely different thing than what she normally does. Mm-hmm. She sang in a very clear, almost a half voice, as if she was floating above the ground, as if it didn't even seem to appear to be part of who she was, which I think surprised her as a vocalist. So, and I think she experienced something completely different than what she was used to. I think it has angelic quality. And I feel that's very powerful in this piece. When you're talking about the life, death, the shadow, the before and the after, I believe in angels. I'll say it right here. And because I believe in angels, I think this piece is super important because I think this is just part of Psalm Space testimony. Really.
Me too.
I feel waterfalls toward the end of this. I wrote in piccolo originally with the project, and I thought, oh, piccolo might be a little bit too harsh, too high, too giddy. And once we played it,
It's perfect. Yeah, everything was divinely inspired. I really think so. Everything just kind of fell in like it felt like it needed to be. And just things were inspired. They came to us. You know, it's like we were just there, and these things just kind of happened, and we were very blessed.
and I've got to guarantee you that I have a favorite part.
What is it?
It's when the piccolo is doing the descending scales.
Yes.
That happens right at the moment that psalm is saying, as we travel through the shadow of death into beauty and into, it's just like cleansing. It cleanses me every time I hear that. It's kind of like the cleansing of the soul. So I'm really excited to have all the viewers listen to this. I can't wait to hear from you and hear what you think about Psalm 23.
Since the Psalms are universal and every person is going to relate to them differently, even if they aren't faith-based, just from an artistic place, in maybe watching the performance or hearing the audio, just hearing the emotion, I hope they can connect to that on that level, and each of us is connecting to it on that level. We're getting to know each other emotionally in our interpretations. I really am enjoying kind of communicating and processing everyone's visions, and especially Peg, of course, as the composer. This is an expression of her soul, so it's extremely profound to understand her soul on a deeper level. I think it's something that could only be done through an artistic medium and not through words. It's just an expression, and that makes it really exciting. It's one of the deepest things that could bond a family.